All right, good morning, YouTube. Today I'm going to tell you 5 things that I hate about my 2017 Audi S5. So one of the first things that I really hate about the Audi S5 is the older electronics that are in the car. You know, they haven't updated them for years. Of course, the new S5, RS5 just came out, and the nav screens, the electronics, everything in it just looks so much nicer. It really makes my car look super old at this point. Just the button controls, the screen, the resolution on like the backup camera. It already felt old when I bought my car, but now seeing the new version, we actually test drove an A4 from Audi while we were out in San Francisco about a year ago, and the new screen and new interior is just miles above mine, even down to like the little buttons for around the MMI. It just feels so old in my car. So something I really dislike. One of the most annoying things, and a couple car manufacturers do this, and I really just don't understand why. Audi decided to put the iPhone charging cable and connection to play music for the car in the glove box. To me, that just makes no sense. Who wants to shove their phone in their glove box to charge it and to play music? It would have been so much easier to just put it in the armrest like every other manufacturer. So that way you can, it's nice and accessible. If you want to go ahead and change a song, you can do that. Of course, you need to do that because the car doesn't have Apple CarPlay either. The newer versions now do, the 2018s, but my 17 with the older MMI doesn't have any of that. Another thing that I hate, and this isn't, you know, exclusive to the S5, but really this is an Audi brand thing. Unlike BMW, definitely unlike Porsche, Audi is just terrible when it comes to tuning their cars, specifically with engine or transmission tunes. If you go ahead and flash your car, which the S5 is an awesome car to do that with, you can flash it for about $1,000 from several different engine tuners, and you get about 1,000 or 100 horsepower for $1,000. So it's a really great mod. Tons of people like to do it, but Audi's going to do what is called TD1ing your car. So every time you take it in for service, they're going to go ahead and scan the ECU. They notice boost values and other things are not at a stock level. They're going to basically see that the engine's been tuned with a software update, and they're going to go ahead and flag your car as what they call TD1, which means your powertrain warranty is basically gone. Unlike BMW and Porsche would probably do that if they found that your engine blew up or your transmission died, but they're not actively looking for it the way that Audi is on every single service. In fact, Porsche, I mean, it's probably the most track-oriented car you can buy, especially a GT3. You know, most people aren't really going to tune them being naturally aspirated. There's not much more you can get out of those engines, but their customers are going to go to the track, and Porsche knows this. I mean, they build the cars for that. You can take it out and do launch control all day long. It's not going to hurt the car. You can bang it off the 9,000 RPM red line in a GT3. It's not going to hurt it. Meanwhile, Audi is essentially, to me, looking for reasons to go ahead and void your powertrain warranty if you decide to tune the ECU. And I haven't honestly heard of anyone actually blowing up their motor due to tuning it. It seems like the S5 and probably most German cars, there's a huge safeguard in there, so it's very easy to tune them and get a lot of extra horsepower, and it still be done safely. So I wish that Audi would partner with somebody like APR and offer a factory supported tune. I know APR has been recently bought by Dynon. Dynon used to do that with BMW, so hoping that they're going to actually offer some warranted tunes in the future, even if it's a little bit more watered down. I've heard that there might be a plus tune that's like a 91 octane tune where at least APR is going to factory warranty the car if anything happens to it. To me, I'd pay extra money to have that, but I still don't want Audi flagging my car as a TD1. It's not going to help it in terms of resale value. The other one is the manual transmission in the S5, which I bought the S5 because it was the last manual transmission that Audi was going to make. But honestly, it's not the greatest. I've gone ahead and installed a short shifter and a new shift knob from Black Forest Industries, which I think made it a lot better. It doesn't feel as rubbery. It's definitely shorter with the new shift knob. I think it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing, but it's not anything like driving an NSX, an S2000, or a Porsche, really any modern day Porsche that came in GT4s, even just a new GTS or a GT3 with a manual. Those cars, there was really some engineering put into the manual transmission. And to me, it's really sad to see that not only are all manufacturers going away from manual transmissions as an option, but most brands have never really put any kind of quality R&D into making sure that they're offering a good manual transmission. Honda with the S2000 and the NSX is probably the best manual transmission I've ever seen. All you have to do is flick your wrist and the car has changed gears. It is truly phenomenal driving experience. And the S5 just really doesn't feel like that. So while it's fun to have a manual transmission, it's just not the greatest one. And the last thing that I really dislike about the S5 are the brakes. One, I don't like the way that they look. I wish they did a bigger caliper or a bigger caliper option, whether it's 4-piston or 6-piston, like they do the RS cars. I would have paid more money for that. But also the braking performance. While driving around town, it's honestly actually pretty good. The one time that I've taken the car to the track, it was pretty decent, but you do start to notice some brake fade. And it just for the weight that the car is, it could definitely use some substantially larger brakes. At least the option to come with drilled and slotted rotors and a bigger 4 or 6-piston caliper. I think that's really probably the Achilles heel of the S5. While it's good enough for road use, if you did want to occasionally take it to the track, it's something that you probably would want to upgrade. So those are 5 things that I dislike about the S5. Some of them are being a little bit picky. TD1, that's just Audi in general. Overall, the car's been a great car, but some things that I'd like to see addressed and things that they've changed in some of the newer cars with the updated electronics, but I just don't understand why Audi can't at least make it an option to buy a manual transmission. Companies like Porsche brought it back after owners complained so much. I know that these aren't the most performance-oriented cars, but I'd really consider buying a new RS5 if it had a manual transmission, especially if they actually put some R&D into it and made it a decent one like a Porsche. Hopefully you guys like this video. If you do, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like this video, and stay tuned for the next one.